What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What up? Back with another reaction video from AOH, aka one of the best YouTubers out here, spreading the truth, addressing the fake LeBron James narratives. Angry old hoops fan. Guy's fantastic, does his research, has a great memory, student of the game, and speaks nothing but the truth. This guy leaves no stone unturned. This guy does not hold back on the daggers and the shurikens, okay? So shout out to the boy Crayontis, longtime subscriber, supporter, for sending this video my way. And I've really stayed away from the making videos about LeBron versus Jordan and the GOAT debate, etc., etc. I really haven't put out any videos like that. I've done videos about Jordan and his greatness and why I think he's a GOAT, and I've done videos about, probably more videos about the horrible LeBron James fan base and the Bronsexuals and the Bron Goblins, and about the fake narratives, which is a shame, because I would like to do more praising LeBron James for the things he does do great in his great moments. But, you know, I'll get back to those eventually. All right. This video is about 19 and a half minutes long. So with no further ado, folks, let's get into it. Well, hold on. Breaking down Jordan and LeBron's meme games. So I'm guessing this has to do with memes that you see on the internet. Sometimes there's some egregious, just horrible memes out there, propping not just LeBron up, but other players with just bad information and cherry picking things to give off a perception of something else happening, or trying to change the gravity of a situation or an event. Things like that. So I'm guessing that might have something to do with it, but I'm not sure. Let's see what Angry Old Hoops Fans has for us today. Let's get into it.
We've all seen these graphics floating around social media. How Michael got his rings, how LeBron got his rings, or the ring giver series of graphics. Back and forth, back and forth. Since neither Michael nor LeBron are pictured taking these important shots, let's look at what LeBron and Michael were doing prior to those shots. Now, I already made a video discussing the difference between making a big shot and getting bailed out, so we won't spend too much time on that. But just to recap, those arguing for LeBron seem not to understand that LeBron was literally on the brink of elimination, and other players saved him from being eliminated, where in MJ's case, when these players made the big shots, never were the Bulls on the brink of elimination. In fact, since those series never went 7 games, that means that the Bulls were up in the series at the time these shots were made, simply clinching the series, not saving anyone. In 2016, the Cavs were actually on the brink of elimination for 3 games in a row. One of those, Game 5, Kyrie single-handedly saved the Cavaliers with one of the most incredible performances in NBA history, which simply does not get talked about enough. If that still isn't registering for you, well, you can't fix stupid. I'm just going to continue on to the next part. Oh, and I know that you LeBron people are going to say that it's because he's a pass-first guy or he's a facilitator. That type of BS is exactly why I'm making this video. Let's look at 2013, when LeBron is bailed out by Ray Allen on this miracle shot. And it was a miracle shot. But first, let's look at Mr. I'm a pass first guy, who was actually shooting first, hoping to be the man. Yeah, that happens a lot, doesn't it? But look at him. Look at LeBron again. Let's take another look after this horrifying clanker. He still wants the shot. Mr. Pass First still wants the shot, and then he goes into complain mode, almost by instinct, charges the ref, puts his hand on the ref, as no one else gets away with in the league, and he still gets away with to this day. Should have been a technical on free throws. He doesn't even know what he's complaining about. The refs are just double checking that it was a three-pointer, which is a rule this late in the game. It's a standard replay review. Mr. high basketball IQ, Mr. Basketball Savant, doesn't even know what's happening. He just complains by instinct and charges the ref. So let's address the LeBron excuse fan base. So we already covered the I'm a pass first guy, that he's a facilitator. Let's take a close look at LeBron's contributions.
I remember Kevin Durant not too long ago publicly made comments about the whole LeBron James, the pass first guy BS. He's like, man, LeBron just does everything all the time. So it might seem like he passed first because if he's not shooting, then he's passing. But he's, he's a stat sheet stuffer because he is still a system. But that guy's been putting up shots since he came into the league. A true pass first guy would be somebody like Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, even a Chris Paul, more than he is.
Look, he missed the big shot. It happens to everyone, but at least he was drawing multiple defenders to get someone else open. Nope.
Yes.
Well, at least he got the crucial rebound. Nope. At least he was responsible for the amazing outlet pass. Nope. At least his dominance on the floor required the other team to throw their best defender at him. Oh wait, no, that's 6-foot Tony Parker and then Boris Diaw trying to come through the screen. Remind me how many times you're allowed to move on a screen before it becomes a moving screen? Why did he even need a screen? Why did prime 6'9" LeBron James need a screen against Tony Parker? And Bosch, the guy setting the screen, is the same guy who gets down low to get the rebound. And then,
there's so many things wrong with this play where the ball should have been handed to the San Antonio Spurs.
Incredible rebound. A rebound that, if Manu Ginobili had actually been LeBron James, would have been called a loose ball foul, especially in 2023. Hey, we're inside the last minute, so let's watch LeBron James melt down. Here he is against a much smaller defender. Has to back him down, try and use his size, but he loses the ball. That's a turnover. It's not just a turnover, it's a reminder of what LeBron does when things don't go his way. He says, nothing given, everything earned, except that you expect things to be given to you, such as a bailout call. And with under a minute remaining, the game on the line, you pull this shit instead of getting back. This is the exact whiny quitter behavior that we saw in Cleveland before he fled to Miami, and it's the same behavior we see still to this day. Moments later, we have another turnover. And, hey, there is an airball / lob / who are you blaming? What does that inexplicable look on your face mean? Who are you blaming here? He looks like one of his promise school kids trying to do a math problem. Notice he's not actually saying anything. This face is just to make the people at home who see his face think that it was someone else's fault. Look at that face. Do not put the ball in that guy's hands. He is done.
He's defeated.
He is done. But what do? I'm sorry. Did you see that? He was open, had a good look, and was off by half a foot to the right. Followed a few seconds later by... So, if you're trying to convince me that Kerr and Paxson are more clutch than LeBron, you succeeded. Oh, Brontards, hang in there.
Stay with me, sweetness, because I'm not finished with you yet.
So we better switch over to Michael Jordan for a little bit instead of continuing to just pistol whip LeBron James. So, Jordan bringing the ball up the court, everyone expecting Michael to take the last shot. The team wisely moves the ball around, and Paxson hits a big shot. This particular possession is not exactly Michael Jordan's most amazing moment, but he did do what he was supposed to do. He executed, he kept his man on him, and the rest of the team executed, and the role player executed when the role player was supposed to. Hats off to John Paxson. By contrast, LeBron was not executing. LeBron was trying to be the hero and failing multiple times, I might add. When you fail to execute and someone else hits the shot you tried to make, that's called being bailed out. Now, why was the other team so worried about Michael Jordan?
Field goal by Paxson from three-point land. The only points in the fourth quarter by a bull aside from Jordan.
Maybe because Michael Jordan, prior to John Paxson's shot, had scored every point for the Bulls in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Paxson bailed him out. Michael ended with 33 points, shooting 50% from the field, and had a team-high 7 assists. LeBron, by contrast, scored 32 points on only 42% shooting and had 6 turnovers. 3 of those turnovers in the fourth, 2 within the last minute. Unfortunately for LeBron fans, this only gets worse. If you think missing clutch shots at the end and turning the ball over in the fourth was bad enough, wait until we look at overtime. I know the video is getting a little long, but let's look at overtime because this is really important. We kick off OT with LeBron missing a turnaround fadeaway jumper over the much shorter Tony Parker. Someone tell me why he needed to take that shot instead of just rising. I mean, how would Tony Parker ever stop a guy that much bigger than him? And let's not forget that LeBron is supposedly the most athletic guy in the league. So in addition to his height advantage, he's got his jumping advantage. Just rise up. Just rise up and shoot. In any case, LeBron missed. Meanwhile, Chris Bosh continues his heroics and Manu Ginobili goes stupid. At the other end, Kawhi drains one right in LeBron's face. Great defense, as usual, from LeBron. And this was following Bosh being allowed to shove Duncan out of bounds without a call. And, hi, LeBron. You want to get a hand up, maybe? That's followed by a turnover. LeBron couldn't handle the pass. Now, this is interesting. Whether this was clean by Ray Allen or not, we will never know because miraculously they won't show the replay from the other angle. They will show that Chris Bosh is allowed to just roll right over Tim Duncan's knee, and then they cut away. They don't show it. Doesn't matter. Tony Parker has begun his overtime meltdown. I will zoom in on the one angle they gave us. You see that Ray Allen is reaching forward with both arms. He has left his feet. They're so inconsistent with this call in the NBA, I don't even know what to say. But he's clearly not going straight up. He's clearly left his feet. And with this freeze frame, you see that Ray Allen's right arm has hold of Tony Parker's left shoulder. He's nowhere near the ball. And while Ray Allen may be trying to strip the ball, he doesn't have hold of the ball. So this two-arm follow-through, today, follow-through with intent would be called a flagrant. At least they called a regular foul, thank God. But it helps explain why Tony Parker went flying to the ground like that. At the other end, Ray Allen makes a difficult shot, and LeBron James is credited with an assist. Good job, LeBron, hitting the guy cutting to the lane right in your face with no one else to possibly pass to. But what a great assist. You are a facilitator among facilitators. Now we see LeBron's only points of overtime, which comes courtesy of Flash cutting to the lane and drawing 3 defenders, leaving LeBron open from his range, actually just outside of his current range. But back then, I guess he could still make one from within 5 feet. At the other end, he overplays Kawhi, but Chris Bosh is there to help, and Chris Bosh actually disrupts this shot so badly that Kawhi misses everything, and Ray Allen is there to block Tony Parker. And let's just pretend that you're allowed to do this. At the other end, LeBron tries to force it against the 6'6", 200-pound Ginobili. Can't finish. Wait for it. Here it is. The patented slam into the defender. Get away with an offensive foul and miss it anyway. You're really coming up big in OT, LeBron. Doesn't matter because Tony Parker is betraying the Spurs. Ginobili was betraying the Spurs too. He just played like a guy who owed money to the mafia. It does help LeBron's stats, though. He is credited with a steal, thanks to Manu throwing the ball right to him. And then he gets away with another offensive foul before losing the ball out of bounds.
And then James lost it out of bounds.
LeBron goes into his instinctive complaining mode, does not get penalized for it. You know, when you knock a defender to the ground with an elbow to their rib and then you complain, and that was clean by Green. That's all ball right there. He absorbs the offensive foul, gets a finger on the ball, and then LeBron loses it out of bounds. And just, who else are you going to blame that on, LeBron? My God. But it doesn't stop him from going into complain mode. What a whiny bastard. I know you LeBron-minded people are proud of running over people when you're on offense, but that wasn't a legal play until the league decided to make it a legal play for LeBron's
This guy, I've been saying this for years about this guy just bulldozing people in the fast break with that damn forearm. He's egregious and just clearing people out. And I'm like, dog, what? Nobody else gets away with that. Just clearly bulldozing over people. Never gets called for it.
Benefit. I mean, tell me what year the NBA officially adopted a rule that said that the defense has to absorb a clear-out blow from the offensive player.
He'll do that
as
with
a
the forearm, or
of legal basketball.
He'll do that with his
Anyway,
damn shoulders.
That's another turnover for LeBron James. That makes 4, just at the end of regulation and in overtime, for LeChoker. They gave this guy Finals MVP. What a fucking joke. No fear, LeBron. Bosch will save you again with an amazing block on Parker, a crucial block on Parker. Maybe this guy should have gotten Finals MVP. I don't like this drive by Ginobili, but he gets raked across the arm by Ray Allen and no call. Just crazy. Just crazy. And Chalmers is like, oh yeah, the league wants us to win. Parker's done.
Boy, he looked like he got him across the arm on that. That's a foul.
Absolutely.
Next thing you know, Ray Allen is at the free throw line. He hits both free throws. And then the Spurs have the most dangerous, weird inbounds play I've ever seen. Chris Bosh does hit him with the body, but I think he was going to block it anyway. You tell me, I don't know whether you call that one or not. But my God, did the Heat get a lot of help at the end there. And none of that help.
It's funny how Chris Bosh has been forgotten, and bronzexuals like to erase Chris Bosh as a player, try to act like he wasn't an all-star, try to act like that wasn't a super team, try to act like he wasn't the third part of being the big three. And I've seen Chris Bosh come up clutch on both ends of the floor so many times during his tenure with the Miami Heat, especially in this game here, as Angry Old Hoops fan is breaking it down for you, the critical and crucial plays that Chris Bosh is making on the defensive end and on the boards. He was the real hero of the game, along with Ray Allen. But poor Bosh, he's like all the third pieces, the third bananas get treated in the LeBron James super team. They act like you suck. They act like you never existed. They will make you seem like you were insignificant and garbage because of your contributions and sacrifices.
Help came from the guy that they're interviewing. This is why it's hard not to get frustrated when you hear these kids that have no idea what they're talking about say LeBron had no help, when you can see that LeBron not only had help from his players and the refs, LeBron wasn't an important contributor himself. It's the exact opposite of what these people are saying. And that's why I take the time to break down these videos. So there will be a historic reference of what really went down.
All right, Jim, 25 seconds in regulation. Game tied at 86. Differential between the 24 and the game clock. It is Michael Jordan time.
Let's go back to Jordan, 1997, Game 6 Finals. This is where the graphic where people claim that Kerr got Jordan his rings comes from. Specifically compared to LeBron, you immediately see the difference of Jordan drawing defenders, even drawing a third defender by faking to Bushler for a split second before passing to Kerr. So I guess the real criticism that LeBron fans are saying is, how dare Jordan not be the only one to ever make the big shots for his team? So you're simultaneously forgiving LeBron for trying to be the man and failing when he tried to take the final shots, while condemning Jordan for actually passing the ball to a teammate, while also calling Jordan a ball hog. Now, despite the fact that the game has changed with its approach to the three-pointer and that it's easier to score now, and everyone scores a lot these days, Jordan still outscored LeBron James in these games. He had 39 points and 33 points, and fewer turnovers than LeBron in both of these games that people want to say that Jordan got bailed out. Unlike LeBron just lazily flopping around at the top of the key or the bottom, Michael is being hounded by Utah's best defender, going baseline, going out, going around, trying to get open. Jordan finally breaks free, relieving the panicking Pippen, drives, draws two defenders, and as we will see, actually draws 3, and Kerr goes to the spot that only moments before he told him to go to. If he comes off, I'll be ready. Gee, I wonder if they're referring to Hornacek. Coming off of Kerr. Thanks to Jordan. It's like he's a prophet or something. I'm taking nothing from Kerr. He did his job. He was clutch. He listened. He did what he was supposed to do. He got to the spot and he delivered. But Michael did his job too. Michael knew what was coming because Michael was the number one threat. And when the time came, he dished it off. Bosch did his job. Allen did his job. The only person who didn't do their job was the guy that you claim is the GOAT. When you fail to deliver, and fail repeatedly, but somehow manage to win anyway because other people carried you, that's called getting bailed out. So we got to wrap this up with Kyrie in 2016, and in direct contrast to what we saw with Jordan, LeBron never even touches the ball. You know, can you imagine anyone else on the Bulls being the primary ball handler than Jordan? That was Kyrie from beginning to end. Not to take anything away from LeBron's crucial role of sitting in the corner. So you see here that a timeout is called. In that timeout, Tyronn Lue called the play specifically for Kyrie Irving. I guess he'd seen enough of LeBron's failures in past championships. If only Tyronn had called it for LeBron, the Warriors would have another ring, and LeBron would have disappeared into the abyss. Let's take a closer look at LeBron in those important final moments. Get a nice look at Kyrie saving your ass. Personally, I hate this shot. Wish it had never happened. Those are the last points of the series, and Kyrie made it. And the guy not only doesn't get credit for it, that wasn't even his best game of the series. When I hear the narratives that LeBron had no help or LeBron carried trash to the finals, it is admittedly difficult for me not to spiral down a path of rage and even a strong level of concern, because it's not just incorrect, it's absurd to the point of the exact opposite being more accurate.
Right.
And then I start looking at society. I'm like, how can people be this delusional? On the other hand, the NBA and their agenda for selling the image didn't help. MJ may not be in every iconic game-winning photo, but throughout these historic photos, where's LeBron James? Of course, the go-to excuse for that is that LeBron is a pass-first guy. You mean a pass the pressure to someone else guy. You know, Marv Albert earlier said it's Jordan time. Do people say it's LeBron time? Because LeBron fails way too often in the clutch to ever call it LeBron time. And where are those iconic photos of LeBron's game-ending shots? I chose to look at these games not because they were LeBron's worst games and easiest for me to ridicule him, nor were they Michael's best games and the easiest for me to praise him. I chose these games because they are the subject of these ridiculous memes going around on the internet. The sad reality is that LeBron's finals performances get way worse than this. You're just going to have to wait for my breakdown of those in upcoming episodes.
Angry old Hoops fan laid that out perfectly. No bias, but just putting the facts out and addressing the BS. I see these kind of memes all the time, and I just what you gonna do? But I get him. He's like, dude, how can you not spiral down a staircase of rage, like you said, when not only is it not factual, but the complete opposite of the point you're trying to make is probably more closer to the truth than what you're saying. It's so true. It's so true. You can't talk with this. There is no reasoning. There is no talking to these kinds of LeBron James fans and revisers of history. And the sad part is you have these casuals, and it's okay to be a casual, but these casuals that absorb this content, absorb this information, people that really never really watched the game, but they just take it for truth, and then they regurgitate it out to everybody else. And now you have this these people that are out here saying, oh, LeBron's the greatest clutch player ever. Oh, LeBron didn't have help. Oh, LeBron did this, he did that. And I'm just like, what? For example, I've told this story before, but if you're new here, I had an ex-girlfriend a couple years ago, and she doesn't watch basketball. And we were having a conversation, and all of a sudden she's like, I don't know, LeBron James popped up on TV, or I mentioned him, or I was scrolling on the internet, I don't know. She's like, LeBron James, the greatest of all time. LeBron James is the GOAT, da-da-da. And I just looked at her, knowing damn well she doesn't watch basketball. I just looked at her, I said, what? And I was like, what makes you think that? Why? I was like, I'm just curious. Why do you think LeBron James is the greatest of all time? And she just looked there dumb. She looked at me dumbfounded. And she's like, I don't know. That's what everybody on Twitter says. I saw it on Twitter. And all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh. And I put her down a journey of enlightenment. Now she thinks the complete opposite. I had to put her on. I had to. And it's stuff like that happens so often. Shout out to Angry Old Hoops fan. Shout out to Creontis. Thanks for sliding this my way. And I'm glad you brought up the fact it's like, none of these games were eliminating games for Michael. None of them. But for LeBron James, it was the opposite. Jordan wasn't bailed out. And did you notice the amount of attention Jordan gets in those moments? How he is fighting for his life just to get free? All eyes on him. The pressure, the defensive pressure, and still delivering consistently. LeBron James isn't getting that kind of, he's not that kind of scoring threat. As you see, he's not, he might have one guy on him, and he's still giving him some space because you know he's not a great jump shooter. Wide open. Hey, get the ball back to me after I missed the first one. Stuff like that. That doesn't happen with Mike like that. Rarely. It will have to be an absolute collapse of some sort. But Mike, being a genius and basketball maestro that he is an elite scorer, especially in the mid-range, especially in the clutch. Called the play, knew what the defense was going to do, had his guy. Mike orchestrated that play, had his guy ready. Come on, man. Cut it out. Shout out to Chris Bosh, man. Shout out to Kevin Love. You guys will never get the credit you deserve, unfortunately. They try to erase your importance to those championships. But I know those are super teams. I know you were part of a big three. I know you made tons of sacrifice for the so that LeBron James could still be him, and the second guy could more or less still be a almost full version of himself, and that everybody else could still get in by you doing all your sacrifice. And so I get it. I'm with you. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our LeBron James playlist. Check out our Michael Jordan playlist. Thank you for stopping in. Crown Tiss again. Appreciate you, fam. And I catch you on the next one. We out, baby.